In this video, I bought an outboard engine off of Amazon that had zero description. All it said was 2-stroke, 20 horsepower outboard engine. And I tell you what, I am shocked.
Kind of legit though, isn't it? Yeah.
Not at all what I expected. And the thing I ordered is not exactly what showed up.
All right, folks, I've done it again. I have found maybe one of the weirdest, least descriptive outboard motors on the internet. $990 or something. It was less than $1,000. The advertisement for it on Amazon was like nothing I've ever seen. No make, no model, no real description. It has no stickers on it. It has nothing. It's literally just a bare outboard motor that was silver in color in the picture. It just says 20 horsepower outboard engine. It has arrived. I don't know what it looks like. We're gonna unbox it, then we're gonna put it on the boat and go try it out. I'm very curious because the last time we got these with the Yamaha outboards from Temu, they actually ended up being like super good. I have a Hankai outboard from Amazon that turned out to be really good as well.
Show you around the box just as it has arrived. It just says outboard motor and that's it. Somewhere it said it had different horsepower and a little box to check right here. 9, 9, 15, or 18. And none of these are checked. So I don't really know. It says nominal power. It does make me suspicious because I know the Hankai outboards that you can get on Amazon come in 6, 9, 9, or 18, like weird horsepower increments. But like I said, this thing does not claim to be made by any company. It literally just says outboard motor on the side. We're gonna unbox it, see what she looks like. I have high hopes. Most of these motors we've gotten have actually been shockingly good. And most of the time when you get motors that are like these off-brand or no brand or whatever, they're like made by some Chinese company, which this one is, but usually they just rip off a motor that was made 20 years ago and make it brand new. So in that way, we've actually had some luck because some of the older motors, like they're kind of good, kind of better than the new ones. What? That is not what I expected at all. It doesn't look like the picture. This is not the motor that there was a picture of when I bought it, but it might be better. Okay, so this says, I can't even begin to pronounce that. Hounji Enduro. So I know the Enduros are like what Yamaha makes for other countries. They still make the 2-stroke Enduro engines. I mean, that's kind of what this looks like. The picture on Amazon, the engine was square. It looked just like a 25 horsepower Yamaha, which is why I was really excited. Like the ones that we put duals on of the other boat. This is not that at all. This is something totally different. Look at that. There's a bunch of bubbles in the stickers. Good quality stuff here. Interesting. That is very weird. It did come with a fuel tank, which is awesome because sometimes they don't and it's kind of a pain. And I don't know. I can't tell if this is a long shaft or a short shaft motor, honestly. It was supposed to be a long shaft engine, but it was also supposed to be a completely different engine than what showed up. This is bizarre. All right, we got fuel line, fuel tank, toolkit. Oh, and I bet the manual is really interesting because the manuals are my favorite part from these Chinese things. We'll get into this in a minute. But look at that. Okay, tiller, twist throttle. Really bizarre. It did come with a prop though, which is also a big bonus. Sometimes they don't come with props. An Enduro. So weird. All right, well, let's get her out, I guess. Not even remotely very similar to what was pictured. I mean, it looks legit. Kind of looks like a Yamaha, but not really. It doesn't really look like a Hankai. I'm not really sure what the heck this is. I sure as heck can't pronounce it. I guess let's get it on a stand and see what it looks like under the cowling and see if she'll run. Okay, this was in there as well. Hagenjai outboards. Probably just offended an entire culture right there. I don't know what any of this means, but 2025, 720, I don't know. We'll see. Quick break because I remembered that I accidentally ran something over the other day with the crab boat. I gotta go crabbing tomorrow, so I gotta get under there and cut whatever's in the wheel out of the wheel. It's one of my least favorite things to do. Top 5 least favorite things to do, actually. There's a good chance to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. BetterHelp's an online therapy provider. Ooh, that water's cold. With a network of over 30,000 different therapists. Over 4 million people have already used BetterHelp to start getting therapy anywhere, anytime. Oh, gosh. It is not real warm anymore. Oh, the magic spot there. Great. BetterHelp can connect you with a therapist. Ooh, oh, it's cold. Oh, online. Ooh, ah, really cold. And all you have to do is fill out a quick survey
and they can match you with somebody that they think is going to be best for you. But one of the best things about BetterHelp is that if you decide you don't like whoever they've matched you with, you can change for no extra cost. I'm currently feeling the prop to see what is stuck in the prop. Anyway, you can have a therapy session anywhere. I can have one right here, technically. I could have one in my truck. You could have one via text message or just a simple phone call as well. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. Oh, there's fish biting me.
Still can't catch one though.
I know. Don't remind me. I think I actually got it out with my feet. That's how you know you've done this too much, is you can actually get it out with your toes. Amazing. I actually got it.
Didn't even need to get your hair wet.
Didn't even need to get my hair wet this time. It's still very cold. Sometimes you might not even think you need therapy. I'm not saying you do necessarily, but it can be a really helpful tool just to have an outside perspective sometimes. Good to have a good third party. So go to betterhelp.com/Luke McFadden to get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp today. Appreciate it. And now I can go crabbing tomorrow.
You don't have to fix your outboard stand before you put an outboard on it. You ain't no crabbing, that's for sure. I'm actually more excited now because I've always wanted to get an enduro motor, but they're really hard to find. Like, they're really hard to get here in the US, so maybe I accidentally got an enduro. And as far as I know, the enduros are just the industrial, simple version of other motors. Like, they're just kind of the ones that they produce and sell to countries with no emissions laws. Most of Central and South America is covered in a Yamaha enduro. Maybe this is like the knockoff version of that? I don't know. Well, there we have it. Penguin GI Enduro. We gotta come up with a better name for this thing. Why can't I figure out how to get this on? Oh, I see. It requires some force. Alright. Like it?
A couple things I'm noticing off the bat. It's a weird size. It's like the same size as the Yamaha BC99, but I think that's because this is the two-stroke, so generally they are a little smaller. It is 20 horsepower, or so it claims at least, and look at that, the cowling is cracked. It came cracked. It could have happened in shipping, or who really knows. But also, typical of these engines, the build quality is just not very good, like the quality control. So, jagged fiberglass right here. Runs in the paint, typical overspray. Gear selector, which is actually plastic. Sometimes they're like floppy rubber, which is weird. It's got choke, kill switch, fuel hookup, which looks suspiciously like Yamaha BC. It's got tiller handle, and it kind of returns. I guess maybe that's what that spring in there is for. That's pretty nice. It also has this, which is a throttle friction pin, essentially. So you can loosen or tighten that, and your throttle will stick and stay if you tighten it up. If you loosen it, it'll return to idle on its own. But that feels like some really janky metal that's already kind of boogered. It is bonded and grounded. It does have Zerk fittings, which is interesting. Sometimes they don't have Zerk fittings where they should. Read owner's manual and labels, wear and approve personal flotation, yada yada. All right, pretty standard procedure stuff. It's got a sticker for this. So usually all motors have a stamped plate, metal plate. And that's what tells you all the information. I've never seen one with a sticker before, which is bizarre. Like, it's not even on there very good. It's like peeling off on the ends. Yeah, I have never seen a sticker with the serial number and all that kind of stuff on it. That is really unique. And I think they spelled normal wrong. Normal power? Maybe, I don't know. Hey, I'm not gonna make any jokes, but you can. Other than that, seems pretty standard. Wait, what? Where's the water pickup? What? Every outboard ever has holes in the sides of the lower, and that's where you pick up the raw water to cool the engine itself. Okay. I guess the water pickup is right there. It's that little tiny little plastic grate. That seems like it could be problematic. Usually they're right here. I've never really seen nothing this big for sure. I've never seen a 20 horsepower that has a water pickup on the bottom like that. It does, however, have a name brand anode on it. So this is a sacrificial anode. So if you leave this thing in the water, this will corrode and your engine will not. That's the idea, at least. And it's actually name brand, Marty. That's so weird. And the propeller is also a little weird. Like, it's just not a normal like Yamaha propeller, it's like the blades are kind of oddly shaped and the metal is like kind of thick. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like in the uncanny valley of a normal propeller, you know, like it looks almost right, but there's just something off about it that isn't normal. I'm also curious to see if it came with lower unit oil. A lot of times they ship without it and you gotta add it. There's the water discharge, like the pisser, so you know that it's pumping water. This feels super janky. This is how you tilt the engine up and down. We'll see if this works real quick. See if my little motor stand can handle this thing tilted up. I got faith in my deck screws. All right, so that is it mounted. Is that the lock? Okay, here we go. Kind of weird, you gotta hold it down. Usually they just have a little switch and you flip the switch and then you can tilt it, but this one you have to hold the switch down and then tilt it up. How do you get it to stay? Like that? Oh, I see, you flip this. This is a very weird setup for this. This is not typical of a normal engine, really. So this was the switch I was talking about in the back. Usually you flip that and then you can tilt the engine up and down, but you gotta hold that down to tilt it up. And then this is the lock to hold it up. And this thing, I guess that's what locks it onto the adjustment pin right there. Like I said, this is, all very strange and feels really janky. It feels like you could you can just bend this metal with your hands. Premium Chinesium is what this thing's made out of. Well, let's get the cowling off and see what it looks like. All right, pretty standard procedure there. The cowling is made out of what appears to be, I think, just plastic. Sometimes they're fiberglass. I think this one is just plastic. Not much going on in there at all, really, except for the crack. It looks very similar to a Yamaha, like the 25 horsepower Yamahas we had. I'll have to go back to the house and like double check. It looks pretty standard for a Yamaha 25, which is probably what this is. It's probably a Yamaha 25 that they made 20 years ago and they're rebuilding it with a slightly different cowling. And if it is, it'll be really awesome because those are super good engines and they're worth a lot of money. Even old used ones are worth a lot of money. It really does look just like it though. 2-cylinder, pretty standard stuff. 1 coil, CDI box, pretty standard looking throttle mechanism. It is carbureted and pull start only. No electric start on this one. Fuel pump, fuel water separator, fuel filter here. I mean, looks pretty legit for right now. It does appear to have stainless hardware. The bolts do appear to go all the way into the head, which is something I found on the Hankais. Sometimes the power head bolts have like in ½ an inch of thread left in the head. So it's good to see that these ones are fully seated. We'll give her a pull over just to see. I mean, it's got legit compression. That's pretty good. The next thing we're gonna do is check and make sure it has lower unit oil, because a lot of times they will ship them without anything in them at all. It's an Enduro.
Yeah, it seems like a workaround to be able to sell those in the United States.
It might be a total hack, honestly. We've been trying to get an Enduro engine, like no success, but this one showed up and it is an Enduro.
What's it look like under the calendar?
Dude, it looks exactly like the Yamaha 25 horsepower. It's kind of legit though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a little.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like in the uncanny valley of looking like a Yamaha, you know. And cowling also weighs like 5 pounds. It's very heavy for what it is.
That's what you want.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What you want to do
Completely
is broadcast it on the internet so somebody cracks down and you can't do it anymore.
Exactly. I think we gotta get some fuel in this thing and see if she fires.
I'm betting there is no lower unit oil, but we will find out in just a second. That screw is also very loose. Ah, no, there is actually. Bizarre. I think we should probably top it off because probably not much in there. All right, so the way you fill lower units on outboards is you pull the bottom screw, leave the top one in so it doesn't all just fly out of there. Screw this thing in. Make sure you lose all of your hardware. Oh, look at that. It's even got metal shavings already on it because they're magnetic. That's a great sign. They probably like put lube in there and then dump the lube out and reuse it. You just want to pump until it starts to come out of this top hole and then you know it's full. It actually had a fair amount in there. It was probably halfway full. And make sure you get gear lube all over your hands too and then go wash it off in your wife's sink.
All right, gear lubed up. Oh, like a glove. I'm gonna have to measure the shaft length on that because it's supposed to be a long shaft, but this boat is set up for a long shaft, and that does not look like a long enough shaft. This cavitation plate should be about 2 inches lower, and that could cause this thing to not ride real well. It'll cavitate, but we'll test it out and see. This is what it comes with. Tool kit, and here we have spark plug wrench, screwdriver, extension, set of pliers, a 10 millimeter and an 8 millimeter box end. I wonder what that's for. Oh, and look at this, even comes with a spare set of plugs, and that is a seal for the lower unit and an extra pull cord. All right, outboard engine manual, 15, 18, 20. Weird that they would make an 18 and a 20. Good, it's in, wow, the entire thing's in Chinese. Wow. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but usually they're in English, roughly, very roughly translated, but it appears that the entire manual is in Chinese. There is some pictures. It's kind of a bummer. Yeah, as you can see, on the Yamaha, much longer shaft than this one. It was supposed to be a long shaft and it showed up a short shaft. It does get some points deducted because you're not actually getting what you wanted. And you're not gonna send that thing all the way back to China to get a longer one. A bit unfortunate, honestly. You can see this one has this whole extra extension which makes it a long shaft, and this one does not have it. All right, we got motor mounted, fuel line on. Another thing I've noticed about these is that they always come with some super wimpy, teeny tiny little fuel line, and the ball is like usable, but usually seems very underwhelming, underpowered, under spec. But this is a tank that's identical to the one that came with it, but this one came with the Yamaha, and it hooks right up. Same connections, everything, and it already has 2-stroke gas in it, so we're just gonna use that tank. Well, let's back her down and see if she works. Also, this is my plug because the whole thing fell out. So this is probably top 5 leakiest boats that I own. All right, we're gonna see how many pulls it takes to start. Pumping water, 3 pulls. That ain't bad. Well, 3 pulls and it started, and it's idling, and it's pumping water. It does smoke a little out of the cowling, which is odd. We'll investigate that. Oh, I bet it comes up through the shift shaft hole. So on outboards, the exhaust goes down the lower unit. So the exhaust travels down there and then goes out the propeller to quiet it down. I think that the exhaust is coming out of that shift shaft hole and back up just on startup. It is weird that water does not come out of the exhaust port. There's exhaust here, and usually water comes out of here as well, but it doesn't. I think we gotta take her for a rip. Sounds good. It was a solid clunk. It actually feels pretty solid. I like it. It feels a lot more solid than a lot of the other Chinese, Amazon, Temu, whatever outboards. Some of them just feel really flimsy and exceptionally crappy. This one feels pretty solid. Feels Yamaha-like. Tell you what, it sounds good. It's not skipping and coughing. It sounds legit. It's pretty slick. I'm gonna see if I can trim it up a peg, get a little more speed out of it. Revving really high is because it's cavitating, and I gotta double check A, my transom height, and B, that this is actually a long shaft motor, because it seems like a weird size, it's a little, an inch too short. Story of my life. In terms of the engine runs mint. I'm about it. Can't beat that. Well, I know it's brand new, but even still, some of these motors are don't start that easily.
don't know who named that, but must be one of my cousins in China somewhere. I'm glad that wasn't my name, I guess. So you know how this motor has an indicator to let you know that it's being cooled? The boat does too. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. It's pretty legit, in my opinion. I mean, it feels solid. I mean, we've only had it out for 10 minutes, but it seems to run solid. Definitely some discrepancy in the shaft length and the fact that the motor isn't at all the motor that was in the picture. Other than that, it was a pleasant surprise that it was actually pretty nice. It's hard to argue with that, man. What appears to be basically a Yamaha 20 horsepower, brand new, for under $1,000, dude. I'm impressed. Seems totally legit. I want to find a bigger one. How big of an enduro can we get? I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 on the sketchy off-brand engines from the internet. The only reason it's losing 2 points is because it's not exactly what I ordered. It's definitely not like the longer shaft that I wanted. Doesn't look anything like the engine. It does kind of, but it's not. It's definitely not the engine that was in the picture. I'm impressed. Check out goodasused.com. All our new merch is there. It's my brand used merch company. Appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support. Like and subscribe, drop a comment, automatically enters you to win a full box of Jimmy's Famous Seafood. That's crab soup, crab chips, crab cakes, you name it. Every single month we're picking somebody. We'll ship it anywhere in the country. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers this year. I appreciate it. We will see you guys next Friday at 8 a.m. See, like I said, doesn't leak a drop.